We've already talked with Curtis Jans about the volleyball program. Big game coming up tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Kingsville is in town, and this is a one and done. UA Fort Smith wins this. They move on to St. Edwards, take on St. Edwards. I mean, this is the tournament. It's a Lone Star tournament. The guys and the gals will be on the court in basketball coming up Thursday. They have 2 games in 3 days. Thursday at 5:30 for the ladies, 7:30 for the men, and on Saturday 2 o'clock for the ladies and 4 o'clock for the men. And joining us right now is men's basketball coach Jim Boone. And Coach, let me just start this out by saying 3-0. You guys have played some tough teams. Hello, Coach. To be 3-0 right now, and very impressive start with a team that you've had to mix with a lot of new players and a lot of players from last year's team, but they're starting to gel. And the things that I've seen, especially against Black Hills State, that was a tough team. They played their tails off, and it was good to see just how the new team and the guys from last year's team have managed to put it together so fast.
Well, thank you. First of all, we've been really fortunate. To bring a new group of guys in like we have. That, as I mentioned before, we have one guy on our team, Seth Hawley, that's been here for more than 1 year. And obviously we're working towards developing a group that is going to be with each other for 3, 4, and 5 years at a time. But right now, kind of starting all over, so to speak, we've got a group that has a lot of new faces, and we're turning around, we're playing in a new league and with a new coaching staff. So for that group to come together as quickly as they have, and even to have the short-term success that we've had initially is really credit to them and our leadership within the ranks and what our guys have been able to do. And we made this when we had our media day luncheon. I'd made the comment that, on paper, we're not supposed to win these 2 games.
Right.
That we opened up with Black Hills State University and Metro out of Denver. Those are 2 storied Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference teams. Black Hills turned around the next night and beat Tarleton, who's the top-ranked team in our league. So, it was 2 very impressive wins, a great way to get the season started, and couldn't be more pleased with what our guys were able to accomplish in those 2 games.
Coach, are you starting to settle in here at Fort Smith? I mean, anytime that you move to a new location, it's always a little bit challenging being able to figure your way around, find out where the grocery stores are, the convenience stores, and I mean, and just being able to get around. Is because Fort Smith's not that big when you look at it. I know that our streets, whoever designed the city of Fort Smith, I think actually, I don't know what was wrong with them, but there was some kind of mental issue with them. You have part of one street, you have Harvard on one side of town, and then on the other side of town you find another little strip of Harvard Avenue. I don't know what's going on here, but is it starting to get a little bit easier for you now?
The key there is, you said it was Harvard. You got to be a little bit smarter to figure that out, partner. It's been easy for us. The transition's been easy. The people in Fort Smith have been great. We've been well received and welcomed. It's been a great time. We're very blessed to be here and feel fortunate to be here, and looking forward to for the long haul.
Coach, at Delta State, where you came from to coach UA Fort Smith, what was the earliest in a season that you had conference games? I mean, you're 3 games in. You're 3-0 right now, and already, you're opening up with back-to-back conference games. I know it wasn't this way in the Heartland. What was the quickest you had it at Delta?
Well, Jimmy, that's a lot of the conferences across the country are going to this. As I'm sure a lot of people follow ACC opened up the season, and that was in large part to promote their new network. But they opened up the season with games the first weekend against ACC opponents, and there was a lot of pushback from the coaches, and there has been at this level as well. But with so many Division II leagues growing in the way that they have, in our league that we're currently in the Lone Star, with 19 schools representing the league and 18 playing men's basketball, I mean, it's just to play a schedule, it's hard not to open up any earlier. We at Division II, and I'll get to answer your question, but we at Division II, we don't have the opportunity to play some of the games over Christmas break that the Division I schools do. We have the 7-day period that we're off.
Right.
So we have to work around those things and graduations and the things that some of the people at the higher level don't have to deal with. We started the very same weekend last year at Delta State. It was the first weekend we had done that in the Gulf South Conference. So it's something that we're familiar with. I don't like it. I don't like playing conference games this time of the year. We're still trying to figure out who we are as a basketball team. We're not close to knowing that yet. And it takes time, and you want to be able to play against some different styles of play that are going to help you develop as a program. One of the things with our tournament I was really pleased with, Black Hills State was primarily a ball screen oriented offense, but wanted to play at a slower tempo, very much like we play at. And then, the next day you're playing a Metro State that wants to press, that wants to pressure the ball in the half court and wants to play at an up tempo. So that was really good for us to see those two different styles of play and a little bit of zone sprinkled in. And we saw just a little bit of that with Central Baptist the other night, a very big, physical, strong, aggressive basketball team that played both man and zone to help prepare us for this weekend. So that was good. But there's so much this team still needs to experience to become the team that we're going to become, and to be playing conference games that are going to determine where you're going to be at the end of the year is difficult. But with that being said, in Division II now, those two games that we played to open our weekend are huge. Those are region games that become of paramount importance as you move forward into February and March. And last year we lost those first two games at Delta State, but then climbed our way back into it by winning our conference tournament. All of us in coaching are hopeful that we can put our team in the absolute best possible position so that if you don't win your conference tournament, you still qualify for the NCAAs, because that's the ultimate goal for everyone. And our team winning those two games certainly, if we can continue to have some success, will pay great dividends as we move into February and March.
Coach Boone joining us on the Gasano's Chicago-style pizza UA Fort Smith Coaches Show. We'll be here at Gasano's each and every Monday from 5 o'clock until 6 o'clock. Hosting this thing out here, and Jason and Sammy have both just opened up the doors and said, "You guys come on in. We're local. We want to support the local team," and I'm really glad that they did. And Coach, let me ask you this: I know that you're only 3 games in to the season, with basically a new team in front of you. What's been the biggest bright spot as far as a player that has surprised you? It's something that maybe you didn't expect. Has there been something that's just really jumped out at you so far?
I would say that things that have jumped out at me at this point, Jimmy, are number one, our freshman from Dallas, from Carrollton, Evan Anderson. Just his demeanor, his composure, his ability to handle the ball under pressure. He made a huge 3 for us the other night, going down the stretch against Central Baptist.
Yes, he did.
He's played really well for us on both ends of the floor. And Daryl McElrath, who is also a sophomore, but played very little last year in junior college. He's been a very bright spot for us also. And I say that because I know most people would expect me to mention Matthew Wilson and Brian Halams, our two transfers. Matthew played for us the last 2 years at Delta State. He's our young man that's from Farmington, Arkansas,
Right.
that transferred him with us and was the MVP of the Gulf South tournament a year ago. We kind of know what Matthew is and what he's about now.
Exactly.
As he continued to grow and develop as a player, absolutely, as indicative by how he's played here in the early season. And then Brian Halams, another young man that we knew when he was in high school and recruited when he was in junior college. So we're well aware of what Brian's capable of doing, and very fortunate that he made a decision to leave Ole Miss and transfer here to UAFS, and he has been a major addition to our program. He walks through that first weekend of games and averages 30 points and 7 or 8 rebounds a game and 4 or 5 assists a game, and is one of the top performers in the entire country over that weekend. So been really pleased with all those young men. And then in the post area, C.J. Rollins has had some really good moments for us. But C.J., just like the rest of our team, and what we're really striving to get to is consistency. And right now we've shown flashes of brilliance where we've played exceptionally well, and we've showed what most teams do this time of the year, where we've been extremely inconsistent and have not executed at the level that you're going to have to execute to be a good basketball team.
Coach, 7:30 Thursday night, International's in town. First conference game of the Lone Star this season for you. And then Saturday, after only 1 day's rest, Kingsville will be in town with a 4 o'clock tip-off. We certainly looking forward to all of the games that's going on. We have volleyball tomorrow night. So a busy week at the campus, UA Fort Smith, and I think if people will come out and see these teams play, I think they're going to see some, number one, very entertaining basketball, but number two, some teams that play till absolutely the last buzzer goes off. And I like that. Whether you're up 35 or whether it's a 2-point game, they keep playing hard, and that's one of the things that I've noticed about your team is they play with a lot of respect for you, and they continue to play hard. And sometimes you'll see teams that get up to a big lead, and the next thing you know, they'll be throwing passes behind their back or throwing an alley-oop that's really not there, and and just kind of play street ball. But your guys, they stay focused and they play hard all the way through the final buzzer, and I kind of like that. We used to do it when we'd be out shooting on a Sunday afternoon. If we knew we were beating somebody, my buddy David Harrison, he inevitably behind the back pass, and he'd throw it out of bounds, and it'd just drive me nuts. I'm like, man, come on, I was open, which I wasn't open that much, but. I just like the way that your team respects you, and they get out and they play hard for you each and every game.
I appreciate you saying that. Our group is understanding that our games are 40 minutes long, and you've got to play for 40 minutes. And it's we're also a work in progress as trying to use every single minute of every single game to develop and grow as a basketball team. So for us, it's extremely important that we're really doing the things that we do, and we've gotten out of character a few times, and that's going to happen early in the season. That's part of what happens early in the season, but for us to be the team that we want to be, we've got to stay true to who we are and what our core values are, particularly our defensive play and being very, very difficult to score against. I thought the other night against Central Baptist, we did again what a lot of teams do early in the season. We just attempted to outscore our opponent. And that's not who we're going to be, and that's not how we're going to win games. That's not our formula for success. We're going to have to do a really good job of stopping the other team to win games. And so this weekend will be a big test for us, and play two tough conference games. And basically with very little turnaround time, which is what conference play is about, playing them on Thursday and Saturday. The good news is it is at home. I thought our crowd, particularly for the weekend tournament, was phenomenal.
Oh, I did too.
To have games this early in the season. So, so I looked across the country at other venues where games were being played. Ours was as well attended, if not better attended than most, if not all. So, I really congratulated our people, our administration, our band, our cheerleaders. They were they created a game environment that I don't know, anyone would want to be a part of and come and see us play. So hopefully we'll get a great group out this weekend on Thursday and Saturday for these games. They are huge, they mean a ton, and winning right now, it used to be in college basketball that winning in November wasn't that big of a deal. It was about winning in January and February to set yourself up for March. Well, now you'd better be able to win in November and December if you want an opportunity to play in March.
Exactly.
So this is really important. It's important to our guys, and hopefully we'll get a great turnout that will support our guys. Because I'm telling you, that game against Black Hills State, the opening game, our crowd had a lot to do with our ability to pull that game out in the end. I thought our sixth man, so to speak, was very, very prevalent going down the stretch in that game.
I thought so too. Coach, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach
Yes, sir.
Boone joining me as we take a little break. The Coaches Show on at Gasano's Chicago Style Pizza. Where's Bronco Bob? Get over here, Bob. We'll be talking some basketball here in a second. Just 1 second. Go ahead and sit down. Let's get my buddy Bronco Bob in here. Hey, you run this place on Monday nights here at Gasano's, and after the Coaches Show, we lead right into Monday Night Football, and you guys do a penalty payoff, which is kind of cool. Someone comes in, sits down, they get a ticket, and every time there's a penalty, you guys call out a winning ticket number, and then next thing you know, if you have that winning ticket, if the penalty's a 5-yard penalty or 10-yard penalty, you bring them cash, not Gasano's coupons for the next visit, but cash. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, really interactive way to enjoy the Monday Night Football game. Obviously, it's the only primetime game on Monday night, so obviously gets the folks engaged, and we give out double the cash in the fourth quarter. So
Yeah.
the later you stay, the more you have chances to win.
We used to do that at the Varsity Sports Grill, and it was always kind of cool. It was a lot of fun. Tex and I did it, and then we started talking to Jason and Sammy about it, and next thing you know, they're like, hey, we'd like to try that. So you've you watched me for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, hey dude, here it is. Give you the mic, and you took off and run with it, and it's a lot of fun. I like being able to listen to you and watch what you do, especially like with the trivia questions and stuff. So you guys do a lot of other things though. Now you have some specials at Gasano's I absolutely love. You have happy hour specials, you have wing specials, and let's run down some of those.
Okay, cool. So first of all, I just want to say thank you, Jimmy, for having me on the Coaches Show today. It's a tremendous opportunity for myself and Gasano's Pizzeria to kind of put ourselves out there. So sure, every day you can enjoy our happy hour from 3 to 7. That's going to take $1 off every draft beer. And then every day, our happiest hour is from 5 to 6. That's going to take $1 off short domestic beers and $2 off of our tall domestic beers. So really good deals. Every Monday night and Tuesday night, we offer $1.99 kids pizzas. So a cheap way to feed your kids on the busy Monday and Tuesday nights that we all go through. And on Monday nights, we offer $6.50 domestic pitchers and $5 wings. So,
Nice.
if you're in here for Monday night payout, you can really win a lot of tickets and keep your tab down if you really focus on those specials. And then, hey, if all of a sudden you pop off on a $10 penalty, well then you've just bought yourself 2 orders of wings or maybe a pitcher and a kid pizza or what have
Sure.
you. So a lot of good deals on
Just
Monday
by coming in and
nights.
sitting down.
Yep, for sure.
All right, Bronco Bob. Where did you come up with that name? Real quick.
Honestly, that name.
I know you're a Bronco fan, but
That name came from Jason Moore, one of the owners of the restaurant. I came
shouldn't it be
in.
Donkey Bob? The way they played this last Sunday?
Well, hey,
Yeah, I'm only kidding.
hey, what about our boy Brandon Allen, Jimmy?
Yeah,
what
you
do you
look
think
good.
about that?
You look good. Bob, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Todd Holland, where's he at? Let's bring Coach Holland over. Ah, he's got some pizza. Good, good. You guys eat up. We're at Gasano's Chicago-style pizza with do the coaches show each and every Monday from 5 to 6. How you doing, Coach? Haven't got to
Good.
see you since last year. You guys since last spring.
Yeah.
You guys have been out. Now, you had a lot of stuff going on out on the diamond today. You had some kids out there.
We had
What-
nice weather. We decided to go outside. We get 2 hours of team practice, and so we decided to burn an hour of it.
Nice, very nice. First game, January 31st. You guys jump right into it. A&M International.
Yeah.
Right off. I mean, conference game right off the bat.
You hope it's warm,
Yeah.
right? That's
I think
one
it
of
will
the-
be.
Yeah. Well, it is we'll break them in right. 14-hour bus ride and see how good you are.
You have some new faces on the team this
Oh.
year, and you have some faces from some local teams,
Oh, yeah.
that some local high schools. I think it's absolutely cool, man, because a couple of these guys, I've called some of their games when they were in high school, and now they're at UA Fort Smith, and so it just gives a familiarity, to me, being able to see them play before and now see them on the next level, man. I'm just so proud of them and so proud of the fact that they wanted to play here with such a quality program that you have at UA Fort Smith.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if you heard, but Braden Johnson came
Oh, I know.
back from
Oh, I know.
Elmont,
Listen,
and,
I'm stoked, man. His dad texted me the day that he decided to come back. He goes, "Hey, you're gonna get to see Braden. He's going to be playing baseball at UA Fort Smith." And I said, "Well, it's about time."
Yeah, what a great kid too.
Oh, man.
Funny,
Oh,
just
good
a
kid.
good team guy. Even
Yeah.
though he is a really good pitcher, he's a great team
Yeah.
guy, and everyone just kind of, funnels to him and hangs around him. We got Trevor Johnson from Van Buren,
Right.
with their #1 last year.
Good
Was
program over
great
there.
kid, and we got TJ, and so it's been good. And we still have Cooper Van Kooten, who's back
Right.
for his junior year. It seems like he's 31 right now, but he's been around forever.
I think he's redshirted like
Yeah,
seven
but
times.
He's the hit of the team. He's kind of
Yeah.
he wore a Harry Potter scarf the other day in the Fall World Series, and it just kind of brings light to the program as far as Cooper's good on the mound and just a great kid to be around on the team.
Coach, as we move through the hour here with everyone at Gasano's, I wanted to make sure to have you on today because, and I've told Bill Ferris, the owner of the radio station, baseball, even though I love doing football games and basketball games, baseball is my absolutely favorite game to broadcast.
Yeah.
There is so much that you can add that you don't have time to add in a basketball game or a football game. So much you can talk about, just like with Braden Johnson, Brandon Allen. I was thinking Brandon Allen. They had a thing on the screen about him.
Christian Allen played here?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Their
absolutely.
brother?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's his pictures up in the Stubblefield, as a matter of fact.
So, being able to do a baseball game, there's so much time that you can fill and bring in, just things like that. It's my favorite sport. It's my favorite sport. to
No shot
broadcast.
clocks. You kind of run under,
Exactly
but they're implementing a 20-second pitch clock.
Oh, I know.
And
You
I'm
like that?
No.
I don't like that either.
Baseball's not a timed game.
No,
it's a
no,
sport
no,
where
no.
you play until the 7 or 9 innings
Yep.
is done.
Yep. They implement it like in basketball. Used to the shot clock would go back to the full 30. Now it only goes back to 20.
Yeah.
I don't like that either.
Well, that's
They
the thing
didn't
I
ask
tell
me, but
people all the time.
I'd
It's
tell
like,
them. But the pitching shot clock, who is going to be responsible for keeping that?
Well, here's the thing. I tell people, non-athletic people making athletic rules really
you.
ruin the game.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so when you put a pitch clock or time it, there should be no time. And I'm a firm believer we have lights. The
Right.
reason we have lights is because you never can tell the dictation of a game or
Exactly
when it's
right.
going to end. And the game's going to get over when it gets over. And that's why I tell people when baseball was invented, they didn't have any of this in mind,
No.
as far as what they're going to do. So I don't know who runs it, I wonder if it, how in the basketball or football they have the clocks on the officials that
Right.
they flip it.
Maybe the
or
home
they-
plate umpire.
Yeah, well, now they've even gone so far as our visits. We get 6 visits, and 3 now can be made by, so if a catcher goes and talks to a pitcher, that's a visit.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you
not
have
right.
to get on the same page or something's going on where you switch signs or something's going
Right.
on, it's gotten. Although I would like to see someday where the SEC has done it, where they put the earphone into the catcher's ear and call signs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I kinda
because-
like that.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking someday where we'll be able to sit in the dugout and say hit and run or steal or bunt
Right.
or here's what we're going to do, just to speed up. But part of the game is picking signs, like Houston did, as you can tell.
See, I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with what Houston did.
The way they did it, I do, because they
Well,
had a camera.
camera.
Like if they had a
Yeah,
guy
yeah, yeah.
second stealing signs,
Exactly.
I'm all
That's
in.
different.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what we're good at. Is we
Yeah.
will find out and expose you when we can do it. But that's the
Right.
whole thing is it's a weird deal. They're getting exposed because they had a guy banging on a trash can.
Oh, I know. So it was so funny because I listened to, we had Dan Patrick on, and Dan Patrick said, can't you just imagine if you were, heading out for a game and your wife said, hi honey, I'll see you later, have a good game. What will you be doing tonight? Well, I'm on can duty. I'm banging on the can tonight.
Well, now I'd like to know what their home record compared to the road record was to see if it was evident, because they couldn't set it up in Minnesota or something like that, where in Houston it was all set up. And that's the whole thing that people don't understand is everyone's like, well, some people don't. Like, if you got the signs and you know it's coming, your batting average goes through the roof.
Yep.
I've had kids tell me, well, we'll throw sliders or curveballs in BP, and they say, well, I don't want to know what's coming. I'm like, all right, and I'll just throw a changeup at them, and they'll be like, well, and I'm like, you don't want to know what's coming.
Right.
I said, it's a lot easier knowing what's coming. When the Patriots had all the plays coming and knew it was coming.
A lot easier for them.
A lot easier. It's easy to win when you know it's coming at you.
And it's funny, the announcers, when the Patriots did that, the announcers were like, it just seems like the Patriots know what they're going to do. Well, they already did.
Yeah,
so,
they did. They had it premeditated.
And what did Houston bang out? 15 home runs in 7 games? So, it does make a difference. Now, if they had done it the old-fashioned way, like, we used to, when I was a lot younger, and just had them stealing signs when they were on second, then that's different. But using
that's
a
part
camera,
of the game.
Yep, using a camera.
I tell people all the time, the goal is to get to second, so we can try to steal signs.
Exactly.
So,
Coach Holland joins me here this afternoon. First game for UA Portsmouth baseball coming up January 31st, A&M International, and I know that you guys are counting the days down. Over the winter, how do you keep the team busy? What do you guys do as far as practice? And when it's too cold outside of practice, what do you do?
well, we're kind of in a bad spot. So if it was in the spring, Northside lets us use their indoor at night, after soccer and those guys are over. But right now, if it's cold or something, we just bang the day and we don't really get to do it. It's a hard spot. It is a hard spot to be in, because you got to keep your arms healthy, and hitting's one of those things you have to do every day, where you can't just take a week off. I tell people all the time, I'm a big golfer, but if I take 2 or 3 weeks off,
your game shows it.
It's not the same, and so it's a hard spot. We do have a covered cage, but rain and 35 degrees, nobody's going to go out there, and so it's a tough spot. Hopefully someday we have an indoor or something that we could go to, but Northside's gracious enough to let us go partake in their indoor at night, and that's the whole thing. Fall to me is more of a study semester where the kids need to get their grades right, because we are on the road so many times in the spring. Where this new schedule, it's going to be a long haul, as far as we go to Laredo to open up, and then we're home, and it's going to be tough. It's a new year because we are in the Lone Star, so the traveling in the Heartland wasn't bad because we played Friday, Saturday. Well, this year we play Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
So if you go Sunday in Laredo, you're not getting home till Monday morning, and it's going to be a different thing. So I just try to make sure they take care of their classroom work in the fall and try to get their GPA as high as we can. So if we do struggle, or in the spring we have a little bit of leeway, and that's the whole thing. Monday through Thursday, it's going to be full-time school for these kids, and then it comes back. So like Mondays we live, Tuesdays we go outside, Wednesdays we live, Thursdays we go outside, and you just try to piece it all together so it's all going on the same cylinder. The scary part is we start school January 14th, so that gives us
2 weeks,
15 days.
Yep.
So it's
Not a lot of time.
No,
Not a lot of time.
It's and I tell people all the time, we're not the first ones to do it. We won't be the last ones to do it. We just got to figure out how to get our guys motivated faster than the rest.
Coach, enjoy the holidays, my friend.
You too.
Great
Appreciate
to see you
it.
again.
Good to see you.
Coach Todd Holland joining me as we get ready to wrap up this UA Fort Smith First Coaches Show. Bob, come on back over here. Let's finish this thing out as we get set to wrap this thing up. At Gisano's Chicago-style pizza, Bob, penalty payoff tonight gets underway at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so cool matchup. Kansas City Chiefs, San Diego Chargers down in Mexico City. Obviously, a lot of Patrick Mahomes fans around here, and the fledgling Chargers trying to make a statement tonight in Mexico City.
Come on out and see us each and every Monday night. We'll do this Coaches Show 5 to 6, and then lead right into Monday night penalty payoff here at Gisano's Chicago-style pizza. I want to thank all of the coaches that were here today. Bob, I appreciate you, and Sammy and Jason and the entire crew here at Gisano's. So thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next Monday at 5 o'clock for more of the UA Fort Smith Coaches Show, live from Gisano's Chicago-style pizza.
Very cool.
Yeah, good show. And I've got music playing in the background. We'll see if he picks it up, gets me off the air. I'll text Jareth and tell him I'm done. You got me, buddy? All right, man. Hey, how close was I to being right at the top of the hour? I mean, was it bad? Wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, cool. All right, man. Jareth, thank you. Hey, are you going to be running the games Thursday night? Cool. All right, buddy. I will see you. I'll be on right around 7:30. Of course, Bill will be on early. Okay, dude. Thank you. All right, man. Perfect.
Very cool.
Woo. First one down. First one in the books. I'm going to get up.